Now, absolute threshold is the level at which a person reliably just detects a signal of any sound that is in the absence of other sounds. This is called absolute threshold. That a person reliably he detects a signal of sound in the absence of other sounds, like there are no other sounds. Then there is a concept of relative threshold. To tell you more about absolute threshold, if the sound level were to be increased even just a bit, the person will still hear the sound. And if the sound level were to be decreased, the sound will become inaudible. So now you will be able to understand that what is absolute threshold. Now in audiology, this absolute threshold, it is also referred as the hearing threshold. And in pure tone audiometry, what we do is we measure the absolute threshold for pure tones. Pure tones, what are pure tones? I already explained this. A sound that is made up of only one frequency. So in PTA, we measure absolute threshold for pure tones at different frequencies. And this is known as pure tone audiometry. And we will study pure tone audiometry in detail in the next video. And the concept of relative threshold, that is used in masking. What is masking? We will study it in detail in another video, but I will just tell you something about masking, that if, for example, a person, his right ear is deaf, he cannot hear anything from right ear, and there is a sound that is introduced to him via headphones in the right ear. He cannot detect it. That sound is increased, increased, and increased. It is increased so much that it will be audible to the left ear. But the person will think that it is coming in his right ear. So this will give you false result. In order to minimize that, this ear, this left ear, it is kept busy. And how it is kept busy? It is kept busy with another sound or noise. This is called masking. Another interesting phenomena about human ear is that the human ear does not have equal sensitivity for pure tones across frequencies. It means that at some frequencies, the absolute threshold that would be lower, and at some frequencies, the absolute threshold would be higher. And what does it mean? That the human ear is more sensitive to some frequencies and less sensitive to other frequencies. For example, a sound that is a pure tone, it is introduced to a human ear at 300 Hz. Its absolute threshold, that is the minimal level at which it is just detectable to the ear, is at 18 or 19 decibels sound pressure level, while a sound that is at 700 Hz, it is introduced to the ear, the absolute threshold of this sound is considerably lower. So it means that a human ear is more sensitive to a sound that is at 700 Hz, and it is less sensitive to a sound that is at 300 Hz. So the minimal audibility curve is a curve that is formed by plotting all these absolute thresholds and the pure tone frequencies in certain conditions. The dashed line curve is the MAP. MAP means the minimum audible pressure. It shows the minimum audible pressure. This solid line curve, this is the MAF. MAF means minimum audible field. So how are these thresholds measured? So minimal audible pressure is measured by introducing the sound to a person by headphones, and there is a microphone probe that is placed close to the eardrum of that person that measures the sound pressure levels at thresholds. So it gives an idea of the mono-aural hearing, and this is called minimum audible pressure curve. And minimum audible field is when a person is sitting in a sound free chamber, that is an anechoic chamber, a chamber where there is no echo of sounds, and the sound is delivered through a loudspeaker. See, a sound is delivered through a loudspeaker, and the person will detect the sound, and then the sound pressure levels at threshold, they are measured in the sound field at the point where the center of the head of the listener was located. The center of the head of the listener was located. And this will show the minimum audible field. You can see that the maximum sensitivity of sound is from 2000 to 5000 Hertz frequencies. And this is the range where the least sound pressure is required to just detect a sound at a threshold level. And between 500, this is 500, and 5000 hertz, the variation in sensitivity is less than 10 decibels. And this is the frequency range that encompasses most speech sounds. There is considerably less variation here, from 500 to 5000 hertz. Limit of hearing before pain and possible damage to the auditory system is in the region of 120 to 130 decibels. But for most people, it is still well below this, in the region of 100 decibel sound pressure level.